Okay, so basically if you look at this, you always have the tendency to go into the flow chart. Don't do that. Okay, so you read the information given. Usually they don't give you so many information one. If they give you information, means you must know how to make use of that. So the first thing I need you all to pick it up is the fact that you are given a compound C that comes with this general formula XCl2. Okay, and in the third line over here, can you see that they've actually given you the AR value for all this metal. And these are all your group 2 metal. Okay, how do I know it's group 2? Because the second statement tells you very clearly, this is a group 2 metal. So actually with this, right, if you go back to the flow chart in your part C, can you see that you are given the MR value for C? Okay, and you know that your C is represented by XCl2. This is your XCl2. So you can work backwards, right? So if you work backwards, you'll be able to work out that your X equals to SR. Can? Okay. So this metal itself will be the one that is used throughout the whole entire reaction. You follow what I say? Okay. Then, so that part we solve, I identify my X to be SR first. Then let's look at the rest of the flow chart, which is the one that I can identify. So if you look at this very first row, what is the key reagent in the first row? You must pick out the key reagent so that you know you're testing for anion or cation. Then you can solve it from there. Aluminium powder plus aqueous sodium hydroxide. What's the key phrase? Is it aluminium powder or is it sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is a test for anion or cation? Sodium hydroxide test for anion, you sure? Positive or negative ion? Sodium hydroxide is a test for positive ion. But if you are testing for positive ion, you will only add sodium hydroxide. Can you see that you added something else here? So the key word here is actually not sodium hydroxide, you know. The key word here is actually your aluminium powder. So aluminium powder is then used to test for positive or negative ion. Okay, which negative ion are you testing for? Check. What do you name that as? What is NO3 minus called? Nitrate ion. Okay, so whenever you see aluminium foil added, aluminium powder added to your sodium hydroxide, you're testing for nitrate ion. So if there's a positive nitrate test, right, you're going to have your colorless gas that turns your red litmus paper blue. It's just that they never ask you to identify this gas. Why is this gas produced? What is the only gas that turns your litmus paper, red litmus paper blue? Ammonia gas. So if you have ammonia gas produced, it tells you that you have nitrate ion present. Okay? So I repeat myself. If you have ammonia gas produced based on this observation, and that is produced when you added your aluminium powder to your sodium hydroxide, that means your nitrate ion is present. So the nitrate ion comes from where? It comes from A. So usually when you are given an unknown, right, you have to identify the positive ion and the negative ion. So over here, knowing that you have a positive nitrate test, I know that my negative ion here is nitrate. So I just need to solve for my positive ion later on. Okay? Okay, so that's the first part. Now, second part, then you realize that you are supposed to be adding your A. Okay, you're supposed to be adding your A with your reacting it with sodium carbonate. But I don't know what is a positive ion for A. But I know when it reacted together, I form a sodium carbonate. When I reacted with sodium carbonate, I form a white PPT. Then you'll be wondering, what is this white PPT about? So if you cannot solve, then just move down. This last part will actually solve the entire whole question. Okay, you have added your B to the acid. Then you form a salt. And you know that your metal salt is strontium chloride. So where does this strontium come from? Come from where? Come from the acid or come from B? It comes from B. So the metal ion present in B is SR. So this is how you solve it. So this is your SR2+. Here, then I ask you, this SR come from where? Sodium carbonate or from A? A. Then you solve A already, lor. So you go backwards. Okay? Okay, so if you realize that this part of the flow chart doesn't give me enough clue, then just move down further. Sometimes you just have to work backwards, then you can solve them. So just remember, every time you're given an aqueous solution or a solid compound or precipitate, you must identify the positive ion and the negative ion so that you know what is the unknown given. Okay, then I move back. What is this negative ion that is present in B? So you look at this branch again. When you added your B to the acid, you form a salt plus this gas. What is this gas for? Carbon dioxide. How do you know it's carbon dioxide? Lime water, very good. So once you see this, you know that you're testing for carbon dioxide. Then my next question to you is, which is the ion that produces carbon dioxide? So it's an acid plus a solid, right? Acid plus what type of solid give you a salt and carbon dioxide gas? Metal carbonate. So where did your carbonate come from? Not the white precipitate, I'm still at here. So your D, you recognize that this is your CO2, right? So my question to you now is, where did my CO2 come from? So it comes from your B, correct? So do I write down carbon dioxide under the negative ion portion? Do I write down CO2 here? No. What is the ion responsible for the production of CO2? Carbonate. So over here you write down carbonate. Okay? So you already solved your A, B, C and D, right? Then you are left with this part E. And I think some of you are stuck with part E. Part E is a common reaction that you must know. And sometimes they did specify the students to write down this equation. When you bubble your carbon dioxide gas into lime water, you get a white PPT. What is this name of white PPT? Calcium carbonate. Okay, this is your calcium carbonate. So you can actually get this answer inside your test for gases worksheet. Follow that? Okay, then let's go back to the blanks. So you solve for everything. Your A, okay, starting with your E. Calcium carbonate. So you can write name, you can write chemical formula, up to you. I'm just going to write down both. In exam, only write down one of the choices. Do not write down both. Because in case you make a mistake, they can penalize you for that. But of course, you must read questions carefully. Sometimes they only want the name, sometimes they want the formula. Then you do not give two of them. Okay, the other thing I want to highlight, you realize that you are using 3 strontium here. Okay, so if you actually recognize this and identify it wrongly, let's say you identify this wrongly as magnesium, right? So you put down magnesium chloride, magnesium carbonate, magnesium nitrate. They'll only minus 1 mark out of this. So they'll still give you error carry forward mark for the other 2 answers. Okay, so these are things you need to take note of. Alright. Okay, so let's label the equation. Then I can write the chemical equation. You're done with this part? Okay, so you number off. Let's number off your 1 over here. Okay, just remember any reaction involving aluminum powder you cannot write. Because they form a very complex compound which is not in your syllabus. So you can write for this particular equation. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So again, 3 reaction. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay, then you fill up your blanks at the bottom there. Huh? Okay, so you should get all these 3 equations. Please go and memorize the last one. You just realize that for any of the question like this, right, as long as there's a gas test involving carbon dioxide, you realize that this is a standard chemical equation. The rest, I will not say that it's standard because they can change the compound use, they can change the anion use. But the moment it's a lime water test for the presence of carbon dioxide, this equation is fixed, you can't change it. Okay, so if you have to write any chemical equation and there's one involving a lime water test, you can consider writing this to secure your 2 marks. Okay? Can if they ask you for ionic equation, right, then usually if you are writing ionic equation, you will be looking at the one involving a precipitate. So there's no need for you to construct the overall equation. After that, do the working and cancel off. Just look for the formula of the precipitate and you split into the ions. So you go by the shortcut method. Do not spend 5-10 minutes trying to construct this. After that, do your working, cancel and cancel. You spend 15 minutes on a 2-mark question. So not worth it. Okay?